Welcome to the third edition of the On Track Sessions. Today we've got Martin Barnes and Alex Terry in the house. They've just done a set and got to say it was sounding pretty great, guys.
Oh, it was fun.
It was fun.
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, man.
Wicked stuff.
Yeah.
So how's the year going, guys? Has everything been going?
No, I think it's been going really well.
I would argue that it's been going very well. Yeah.
We're trying to take. I think for us, well, for me, I'm trying to take it could be going faster, but I also don't really want it to go faster, because I want everything to be right.
And it's important to take your time with these things, isn't it?
So, yeah.
You've got to get it right. Like if we're doing this, we're doing it right.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's going.
Cool. Yeah. So you were a solo act for a long time,
mm-hmm.
And then how long has it been now since Alex has been with you, and how's it been going since
November last year, was it?
November last year. I get more annoyed.
You get more
embittered.
Yeah.
No, it's genuinely wonderful. Because the thing is, we used to be in a band back in college before, because I moved away to Guildford to go to the ACM, and before then I'd gone back after dropping out of college and being a bum for a few years. I'd gone back to do a music degree because that's a good life choice, right?
Well, it's all right, man.
Yeah, it served me well because I met him and then we hit it off quite well musically straight away.
Pretty quickly too. Yeah, started jamming together.
Let me get this right. Did you meet in Devon or you met at Guildford?
Yeah, no, we met in Devon. So we went to Pet Rock when the factory was running and it was still doing all the gigs.
The glory days.
The glory days. I hear the Pet Rock is going to be no more soon.
Is that so?
Really?
I mean, this is the first I'm hearing of it. To be fair,
I mean, the music side of it, they screwed that over with the factory and everything, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's just a massive shame.
Yeah, mate, I did the BTEC back in, I think, the year 2000, and nothing worked. Like, any time you had studio time.
Oh, dude, nothing changed.
Nothing changed. Yeah, no, everybody I speak to, like, nothing's changed.
We were probably using the same amps that you were using back then. Like,
just a bit more beat up.
Yeah, they had a full-blown studio right at the actual Sticklepath College.
Yeah.
So what happened there? I mean, like, is that just...
I don't know, but I know that they've gone... I know that they this year have moved back to Sticklepath because they lost the factory, but the thing is, since we were there, I think there's maybe two lecturers that stayed on because they just messed it. Well, over lockdown and everything, I remember when they would close the factory as a venue.
Yeah.
I remember actually being in Guildford and like trying to help out as much as I could through like social media and stuff to try and keep it open.
There was like a petition going around for a little while about, not closing the factory because of these homes that they were building just over the road.
Yeah.
But clearly that didn't work out, right?
The BBC did an interview with the president or whatever you'd call him of Pet Rock. And he said, "We don't want to be a club. We're an education." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what are you talking about? You don't want? It's not a club.
It's not a club. It was never a club.
No, it's an educational facility where people can see real bands. Yeah. It's bringing life into Barnstable and
weren't the students were like having like real world.
Yeah, we did. We worked.
In our first year, it was a requirement that you spend so many hours logging work experience, working the gigs.
So that's like artist liaison, box office.
Even just down to cloakroom and stuff like that. But it's all really important stuff, especially for students who want to see what the music industry is all about and see, where maybe they fit in within that kind of equation.
And it was wonderful. When we were
really
there,
great.
Like, as you say, that there were issues, but, the overall vibe of the actual and the lecturers, it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Very
really
supportive environment. I went through like a really hard time during my time in college. None of the tutors ever gave up on me. It was always just like, nah, you're going to do this. You're going to do this because we say you're going to do this.
This is the thing. Like, I don't think like they defunding all the music departments and things like that. I don't think they quite realise how much like it affects people, like people's mental health. It's really important for people that are musicians like us. It's pretty damn important. Do you know what I mean?
To have access to a good place to practice, to listen to good music,
to express yourself, man. Like,
that's why I'm excited about Junction, mate. Junction 27.
You did your first set at Junction 27 the other night, at the open mic.
Yeah,
you guys rocked it, man.
Yeah, that was great.
Really
fun.
It was good fun.
That was great fun, and it was a really nice audience in there as well. It was quite quiet because it was a Sunday and it was a weird time for it and everything like it. But like the actual audience that was there, they were all really, really attentive. Like, and I think we played pretty well as well.
I would say that we did, yeah.
So yeah. I mean, to be fair with me and Alex, it's now got to the point that we can be pretty sure that we're going to play decently each time. The issues that we have are minor, and the things that we need to work on are just improvements now.
It's just straightening things out with practice, you know.
Well, listening to your set just a minute ago, as we discussed earlier, I could tell like you'd really put work into your harmonies. You weren't just going, okay, that's the third of that and that's the end of it. Not just that, it was you're not just the harmony, but you're following along with the vocal line to a T, and I thought that was great. So
that's just been like dedication to like we were saying to you earlier, it's all about serving the song.
Absolutely,
and we want it to sound good, for lack of a better word, man. You know,
I'm just lucky that he doesn't get annoyed because the thing
do.
is, I literally we're in the middle of something, and I'm literally like, nope, stop. Let's rehash it.
Not right
because it's got to be right.
It's
not like I'm not saying you're terrible. How could you do that wrong? I'm just like
you'll tell me that
stop,
in private.
Be right. We got to do this right. You know, I'll do this for the same thing for myself. When I mess up something in practice, I'm just like, right, no, let's play that again.
I think it's sorry.
A lot of our rehearsals is just kind of us starting to play a song and then me or Martin going, no, start again. We'll get it right.
I think it's a good thing if you know something's not right. It's quite easy just to carry on and just fumble through it, but I think
you don't learn anything.
You don't learn anything, and also it's quite good for somebody to not be a dictator, but take charge and just guide the session a little bit and just make sure things are getting done. And
it's a hard line to to tread, though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
You know that difference between trying to trying to not be an arsehole, but also be like, that wasn't right. We need to do it again. Because the thing is with music, right? It's such a vulnerable thing to do, like with friends, with band members, with whatever. Because like you do something wrong, and then someone goes like, sorry, nah. Like some people can take that. I try my very best to say it in such a way that that people don't get offended, but you know it might happen at some point. But it's got to be right. It's got to be right.
You know yourself as well. When say something's not going right, you know when it's because somebody hasn't put the work in, or if it's just because it's a difficult part and you're trying to get it right.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
There's all kinds of variables,
and we're lucky enough that isn't the way it's happening. You know, that's just not the way it's been happening. Everyone that we've been involved with musically they're all putting effort in, and it's showing.
There's a shared passion there, right? You know, we all want to make music that matters to us, and we all want to be making music that more than anything just sounds like awesome. You know,
and it's just fun when people care, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, you're doing a great job, guys. So as I understand it, this is likely to evolve even further. So tell us about that.
There are things brewing at the moment. You know,
kettles brewing.
Well, yeah, absolutely. The tea is hot, friends.
Always the kettles brewing, constantly.
But no, we you know, quite quickly, we knew pretty much from the start, I'd say, that we wanted to expand. We didn't want to just be going as a duo forever. It's left us with a really nice bass line because we have these. We have these
first pun of the
you know, we have these great stripped back songs, but we wanted to bring more into it because we're all about like big sounds, big, like, you know, in a lot of our songs we have these big crescendos and builds, and we wanted something that can like continue to reflect that. So we were trying to find you know, members, but it's North Devon, you know, like there's not that many people around, and you know, my thing is always like, you find a drummer, they're in 4 other bands and they have no interest in jamming with somebody else because they're too busy. But we've been really, really, I guess, blessed because, like, you know, Martin linked up with our friend Ben, and it just kind of snowballed from there a bit, didn't it?
It's one of these ones that I'm sort of pinching myself a little bit because I'm worried that like it's going too well.
It's a bit dreamlike at the moment.
We're still in the very early stages, and we won't be like jumping into it until we're ready. But I think this evolution, as you say, is coming sooner than I imagined it would, and I'm very, very excited.
Well, it sounds to me like you haven't rushed it, and things always fall into place seemingly at the right time.
Exactly.
Good things take time, man.
They do.
Right?
They do. I think as well, like we said about finding members and that. You showed me a demo that you put together of, was it You Make Me Smile?
Yeah.
That you showed me.
Yeah.
So the fact that you had that and you had that to show people, I think giving that out, it sort of separates the people that want to take it seriously.
Exactly.
Listen to your music and go, I like this.
That was always the idea that I had. I always wanted to be able. Well, I love recording and mixing. I love the because I've always loved listening deeply to music.
Yeah.
Closing your eyes, really going in and extrapolating the parts and listening to reverb and stuff like that. So mixing is an obvious thing that I do enjoy. It's Jesus Christ, it's hard. Like, you know, it's oh my God, it's hard.
That's why I don't do it.
And it's back to the point. That's why I do these mixes. It's so I can send it to people and people can understand straight away what they're getting into, you know. It's not like we're this folk rocky like Foo Fighter-ish, this kind of thing. It's like no, this is what we are. This is the music that you will be playing. I've put parts on there. Obviously, I want people's personality to show through.
Sure,
you know, but I have a sound in my head. It's always whenever I've written any song, I've always done it with an acoustic guitar, but always with a band mindset in my brain, because this is just how I fell in love with music, was rock bands and all of this kind of stuff, you know. So making the demos is just an easy way of doing it, and as you say, it weeds out the people that are just trying to get into a band rather than trying to
sort of make something out of it.
Exactly.
I think now being a musician with like the recording technology, you kind of need to have like at least a basic skill at like recording yourself, even just for your own like playing abilities. I tell you, when I started recording and I heard myself back, it was a bit of an eye opener. I was like, oh shit, I need to work on this.
Like my vocals and everything, you know, when I first started recording my vocals, it just like it was this thing that I listened to it, and first of all, hearing yourself recorded for the first time is a weird thing. Your voice is just suddenly like, I don't sound like that. What are you talking about? Like, you know,
you totally sound like that.
But it is that is how you sound. But it's but then you put the fact that you're actually trying to sing in tune on top of something as well, and I'm just like, oh Christ, I've got to really, really work at this, and I have now. I've put in the work after college and everything, and now I think I'm personally suddenly starting to get to a point where I can be happy with my vocals, you know, and it's thankfully that I've put in the work, and it's taken a long time, and it's taken a lot of ups and downs, and me going, oh, I can't ever do this, and then suddenly just being like, actually no, just put in some more work, and each time it just gets better and better and better, you know.
Get on. So it's been a long journey, really.
To be
getting to where you are.
It always is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyone who makes it in music, it's never like that, you know. So I mean, I'm 30 now, you know. So I've been involved in music my entire life, but I've only really been trying to do this for like properly the past 10 years. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
But I now I think of that. Now I even say it. To be fair, I feel like I am someone who's been playing for 10 years now, which is a good thing in my mind. You
Absolutely,
know?
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. So you got some exciting gigs as well coming up.
Yeah.
I seen you guys heading for Ocean Fest.
First ever festival gig.
Is it really?
First ever festival gig.
How did that come about then? Did you contact them or how did it go?
So you know the Key Cafe in Braunton? Yeah?
Yeah.
Lovely place. So one of the first open mic nights I actually did when I came back here. After being in uni and leaving and everything like that, and then COVID and whatever, and then breaking up with the ex, you know, same house, ended up out of there, you know. Came back tail between my legs, you know. But I really wanted to make it work, so I tried to find a few places, and then I saw I met Christian, who was doing the emceeing for it, and I went over there, played there. And I went back in there the other day after it was really nice, that first one. and Scott, one of them, Scott Lynn, he's doing the the lineup for the Thatcher's Haze stage, I'm pretty sure. And I chatted to him there, and he just sent me an email, saying, "Are you interested?" And I was like, 100%, mate.
Yeah. It's not the kind of thing you turn down.
No,
is it?
it's not at all.
That's, it's a huge opportunity. I don't think I've certainly never played a gig sort of that big. It's going to be huge.
It's just going to be great fun.
Yeah.
It's the thing is, I already understand what it's going to be. We're going to be on there. We're going to be there like. I don't know the times yet, but in my mind, I'm like, we're going to have half an hour. We're going to be there probably 11, 12. We're going to be an early slot.
On the last day as well.
Yeah, on the last day.
Tired.
And the thing is, it's probably going to be this, but I know a few people who are coming to see us, who are actually coming to see us, you know? And that's something in my brain that like was always a dream, like people actually coming to see my music, our music, you know? Yeah. It's like, it's mental, you know? Like I did it. I do this because I love writing, and it's just incredible therapy for my brain. It's
I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But actually having people like clock onto it and understand, really engage with the vibe is just mental, you know? It's wonderful, and it is a dream come true, and hopefully it's just going to get more and more so the more actual stuff we get released properly.
Next stop, Glastonbury.
Wembley. Wembley's the dream, mate. Wembley's the dream, mate. Wembley is the dream.
So your writing process then, obviously you've written a lot of songs when you were just Martin Barnes Acoustic. What's the plan going forward? Are you going to try and write as a unit? What's the idea?
We've been chatting, sort of bits about where sort of we go next. It's always been, the dynamic has been like Martin writes the songs, Martin brings the songs in. But, in the last sort of few years, I know, like for me especially, I've kind of come into my own a lot more with writing songs.
He's an incredibly, he's a great songwriter, yeah.
Oh, you kid. But we were saying, we want to be able to sit down and collaborate and be able to all bring ideas. And I say all, when we have like a full lineup all together and stuff. We want to collaborate, want everybody to bring ideas to the table.
Yeah.
The thought of having like I don't think communal's the word, but a very shared sort of
I'd agree.
writing process.
I think that's why I've waited, or why we've waited so long to find new people. Even consider the idea, because they have to understand. They have to understand what we're trying to achieve.
Sure.
More than anything else, more than the fact that they're a good player, more than the fact that it's anything. I want to get on with this person. I want them to understand the vibe, and I want them to be on the same page as we are.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, this is my baby.
Yeah.
In the end of it, I'm not gonna say two ways about that. Like this is I when Alex came with me, like one of the first things I said to him was like, look, I hope you don't mind, but we're doing my songs. Because that's what that's what the mindset is. So I'm going to be writing a lot of the songs still. I'm still going to be doing that kind of stuff, because I will never literally stop writing. I just don't think that's an option.
I think you'd burst if you stopped writing songs.
To be fair though, I think like if you're writing the songs and you've written X amount of songs, and then to have other people coming in, it's only going to sort of feed your creativity.
One of our songs that eventually we're going to really start working on again is his riff. His riff. One of the guys that we're chatting with at the moment, he sent me over a riff the other day as well, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And this is just showing that they understand what we're trying to do, because it's not about me or my music. It's about the vibe and the song and what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So when it comes to writing stuff,
Jesus
Christ, you come in with a good riff and a good lyrical idea, I will go to you. I'll be like, please let me play with that. Because,
absolutely.
And the thing is, we used to do it with when we were in the Branded Unknown. Was our college
Branded
band
Unknown.
name. It's awful, but
we had our logo was like, it was like a horseshoe, wasn't it?
It's not the worst, but it's not the greatest.
I don't even remember why we called ourselves that.
Oh, because I said it, and then I just overruled you with my dadness.
Yeah, that's
basically.
Are you the dad of the band?
I was
Martin's
even
name
back
in my
then.
phone when we first sort of linked up again.
Yeah.
He put his number into my phone and he put it in as friggin' college dad. I'm like, great. That's the dynamic hasn't changed then, has it?
No, not at all.
I've just gone from being like a bratty teenage son to being a bitter adult son instead.
When we were in this college band, obviously it was a different vibe, but we were still doing some of my originals in there.
Yeah.
And
That's where my fight came from.
yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. And I always had. There was a couple of songs where Alex was doing the lead vocal, and the thing is, I'm completely not against that idea in this band either. You know,
well, you brought it up to me first, didn't you? You know, we were in the car a while back after, I think it was the Grampus probably, and he said to me then, "I want you to take vocals on some stuff."
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Because
That's great.
why not? If it's the right vibe, it's not a band is a collective. It's not one person.
Absolutely.
Whether I'm the main songwriter or not, you know, it's a band is a collective thing. And if someone has a good idea and there's a beautiful song in there, why would we not record it properly? Why would we not? Why would I not let them take the lyrics and the melody of it? You know, if it's their song.
Comes back to serving the song, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Whatever's best for the song.
That's
Exactly.
it. That's it.
Totally. I mean, yeah, I think if you stick to that philosophy, you're not going to go far wrong like, at all. So yeah.
Hopefully.
Alex, so I was checking your bass playing out earlier.
Okay.
And so are you a bass player, or were you a guitar player that got relegated to the bass, or did you intentionally go out to play the bass?
My let's go back a few years, Ryan.
Let's
go back a few
Take
years.
me back, mate. Take me back.
It's the tape rewinding, you know.
We can get that in there, Matt, can we?
So I
Sepia all over the.
it's got to be sepia. Got to be. It's classy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get my spandex, guys.
Yeah.
No, so I started out playing guitar when I was about 14, right? And when I got into college when I was 16, I started out, I brought in my guitar, and the next day I brought in my bass. Yeah. Because I realized that there was one other guy of the, how many people were on the course?
Jordan, right?
14, yeah, Jordan, but 14, 15 people on the course. So I
Two
brought
bassists.
in my
One
bass because I
bassist,
was like,
really.
right, you know, I'm sure that this will be fine. But our tutor, Leroy Tommen, he comes over to me and he says, right, you need to make a decision because you can't do both. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do now?
And he's a bassist as well.
And he's a bass player, so like there was almost a pressure there, right? To like
you're doing this.
So I started playing bass, and you know, I was saying earlier, I'm a shitty guitarist who turned out to be like a pretty good bassist. So I've just run with that ever
Great
since.
bassist.
But it does mean that the way I play bass can sometimes be quite similar to playing guitar. But it's worked really nicely within the dynamic of the duo because it means that I can do more than just boom.
The thing is, the thing is, I'm when I play guitar, I've got some melodies in there, you know. So when I have some melodies, some more intricate pieces on the guitar, he often does just follow that kind of stuff. But a lot of my stuff is open, rang out chords. Yeah, because I like simplicity, you know. I like having space for other things, and the thing is, there's plenty of space, and some of the little lines that he does, like we when we were doing one of the songs, the last song, you know, there's one note, you know. I play 2 chords in those last little runs, you know, and there's one note that he plays that just changes the vibe of it entirely. Like the tonality is completely swapped because of one note that he does. And he's not scared about it. Like he'll do these weird things, and then sometimes we're jamming, and then he just does one extra little thing.
Every now and then something magical happens.
Like, oh, this is brilliant.
I got to say, you know, so going back to sort of the writing process, you know, it becomes very trial and error sometimes because, you know, my nickname is Riddly Diddly Alex for the reason that I riddle and I diddle. And
it doesn't it's not as bad as it sounds.
It's not as bad as it sounds. Don't cancel me. But but it does just become like, okay, I'm going to try this. That didn't work. Okay, you know, we don't have to do that.
Oh, 100%.
I've had to learn doing this, I've had to learn to pull back, and I've had to learn about, you know, of course I have like a basic idea of dynamic, but I've had to learn to apply that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, all I ever want is just to make noises and do fun runs.
Yeah.
There's not always room for it.
Yeah.
So we've had to learn a little bit of restraint on that front.
Exercise and restraint, I think, goes a long way with any kind of musical idea.
Good
you know?
chance to learn some discipline when it comes to
the thing
playing.
is, when you get to the song that doesn't require that restraint, do you know how much more fun it is, right? To just suddenly go, oh, this is the moment. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna riddle and diddle all over the place.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, so if you're like going at it 100% from the get go, where do you go from there?
Yeah. Well, you run out of licks, and then it's just like, where do I go from here?
Yeah. You've shown all your bag of tricks, and there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's flat after that. You've got nothing to surprise an audience with anymore. You know.
This is the thing. I don't think people realise, like you said about the analogy about the shitty guitar player going on to bass. That's sadly often the case. The thing is, they stay the shitty guitar player, and then they become the shitty bass player.
Yeah.
You shouldn't call yourself that, because I tell you, you're far from.
And he's not. And he's a good guitar player as well. So I wouldn't even say that.
It's always the modest people. It's always the modest.
But it's the thing is,
I'm just good at pretending, right?
I always say the same thing. Like I've always said, like, I can play a bass, but I cannot play the bass.
Yeah.
It's just it's two different things. I can do root notes, and I can play bass well enough to make an idea of a demo that perhaps I'd want to send over to him or something.
Yeah. Just so that I can go, man, that bass sounds awful, shit, mate.
And then he does his magic, and then like it usually is like one or two takes, and then we're in, because he's like he gets it.
Usually I need a few minutes, then I just to sort of fiddle with it a little bit, get an idea of where I'm at, and then usually something good happens.
Yeah.
And is like, what's the ratio of your set from originals to covers? I know that you do a few bits and pieces.
Yeah, it depends on it depends on what we're doing.
I'd say we're getting towards a sort of 50-50 split between originals and covers.
And to be fair, that's what eventually we want it. Well, the aim is to be 100% almost.
Absolutely.
You know, with having 100% originals and then maybe the odd cover. But the cover's got to be right. It's got to be something that we connect with as a song, rather than. But because the thing is, we do pub gigs and everything every now and then. I try not to as much as possible, because they're soul destroying, but you need the money, like, right?
Yeah.
So but
they're always the same,
exactly,
aren't they?
But it's like you play for an hour, and we have a cheat code, right?
Yeah.
So we play for like an hour and a half, 2 sets, and we've got like a chill set at the beginning, and then we have the party set later when everyone's had a few more drinks, and you've got stuff like whiskey in the jar. We've got Jolene, Brown Eyed Girl, Use Somebody, Kings of Leon,
and of course the ultimate,
and then
Iris.
This is what I mean. We've got the cheat code, because like, you can play through this entire set, and then there's these people there just paying no attention to it whatsoever. You're playing these songs that you think are wonderful, and you think you're playing them really well, and there are people just shouting in the corner because they don't care. And why should they care? Nothing against it at all.
No,
you know,
absolutely.
Why should they care? I'm not stopping doing it, but why should they care about the music they don't know? But then you get to the end of the set, and you play Iris, Goo Goo Dolls Iris, and then suddenly everyone's like, that was amazing, that was so good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, where were you for the last hour and a half? You know, like, what is
this?
This
Is how you build your audience, though. Like
is.
you said, you can't expect people in a pub to just tune into something they've never heard.
Rarely they've come in for you. They come for drinking.
At the same time now, what I have found of still sticking to the originals and sticking to it and sort of grinding through that a little bit, you pick up one or two people.
Yeah.
You know, you pick up in a room full of 30, 40, you pick up one or two that are like,
it makes all the difference.
Stuff. And that's the thing. Now these one or two people, now we can actually we had a gig at the Palladium, like a Sunday gig, and I was terrified, because this was like our first gig there as a duo, and it was ticket price, and it was like, oh God, this might be empty, like, you know. And then we got there, and it was they'd filled up the space, because it was a nice chilled evening, so they'd filled up the space with tables and stuff. But we had full tables, like, you know, and they'd come to see us, you know. Yeah. So it's obviously working. Yeah. Slowly but surely.
So you've been putting in the grind. Do you know what I mean? So by doing the covers and peppering in your own stuff, and now it's getting more and more, and at some stage it's going to be just
Exactly.
they're going to see you guys, and
That's
if
the
you
hope.
play a
That's the-
cover,
that's
well,
the-
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
The grand plan,
So
if you
my I always knew it was going to be tough doing it.
Yeah.
I always knew it was going to be tough. And there's two ways in my mind that you can succeed in the music industry.
Yeah.
You can follow these trends. You can do everything that everyone else wants you to do. And yes, that gets you noticed quicker.
Yeah.
But it also gets you labeled.
Yeah.
You know, it gets you labeled as a guy that does the covers. They do them great. Blah blah blah. Nothing against that. People need to follow their own ways of doing things. And if that's how you want to make your money in music, and that's how you want to live your life, and you're happy with that,
Yeah, of course.
amazing, right?
Yeah.
You know, just do it well.
Yeah,
I love a
yeah,
good
yeah.
covers band, like, you know.
Absolutely.
But in the end of it, the second way in my mind is you just have to become undeniable.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
because then you don't need to rely on trends.
No.
You know, you don't need to rely on trends because people are interested about the quality of your content every time. And that's why I work so hard on my vocal stuff. That's why I work so hard with the rehearsals. That's why we do it, because I think we're now getting to the point that, as I say, that we can go there, and I know that we're going to have a certain baseline level of quality when we play.
Yeah.
And I think that is the beginning of becoming undeniable, because even on our worst day, I think we can still smash out a decent gig and people will still enjoy it.
People know they're going to come along and you're going to deliver.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know,
Perfect.
and that's what being undeniable is to me. And it's the only way that I think you can make it in the industry without following along with all the trends and losing a bit of your artistic integrity.
Yeah.
Because if you're undeniable, if someone catches that, they're like, okay, we need you. We want you, because that's good.
Yeah.
You know, rather than, oh, you did everything right, you should probably come this way. It's like, no, you're good. You should come there. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I want to be. That's what I'm still striving to do.
Yeah. So while the band's being put together, then are you still going to be doing just the duo stuff just to keep momentum going?
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's all about momentum.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. We've got. I think we haven't got many things like booked in, but we've like the Kahunas that were here the other day. We saw them at the open mic.
Yeah.
And
Very,
then,
very nice people.
They're
Lovely
fantastic,
people.
right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they approached me about a support slot. I didn't tell you this because I had to say no.
He never tells me nothing.
No, but they approached us about a support slot for something, and unfortunately, the calendar was the worst moment they could have done it for. But hopefully, we're gonna have a support slot with them soon.
Yeah.
We've hopefully got a gig at Junction 27 in May. We've got if it's still going ahead, we've got a Battle of the Acoustics thing that's going on. We've got the Ocean Fest stuff, and then now we're into the summer. I know there's places in Kumartin that are going to want us to play, you know, and now we're getting to the level where I think we've evolved so much since I last played in Kumartin. I don't think you've ever played in Kumartin with me, have you?
The last time, the only time I should say I've ever played in Kumartin was when you used to go down to the open mic at the Pack.
Oh God, yeah.
And I came down once.
I ran the open mic at the
once.
Pack.
You did, yes.
Yeah.
And I came down exactly once.
Yeah.
when I was like 17.
But now we're getting into the summer. There's people. There's life. There's life in the village now. I think
sun's out.
I'm going to start like bigging up this thing as well. But we've got a lot of work. We've got a lot of work at the moment. It's a busy time, and it's in the best way. In the best way as well. You know.
Well, guys, it's been smashing.
Yeah.
And you smashed it in the studio. Where can people listen to you if they want to check you out?
Okay,
already. You got stuff out already?
We with that at the moment on Spotify, I have one song out already.
Mm-hmm.
It's full band version. It's how it's supposed to sound, you know.
Yeah.
But if you just search Martin Barnes on Spotify, the song's called "Beautiful Home." I think it's wonderful. I got it mixed by a really good engineer.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and he did it exactly. And if you want to have if anyone wants to have an idea of what we're going to sound like before we release more stuff, which is coming soon. That is the way to do it. Beautiful Home on Spotify. If you want to see where we're playing next, you can follow me on my Instagram. It's NB Acoustic. And then you've got or is it Martin B Music? I need to sort out my.
His Instagram is Martin B Music.
At Martin B Music.
Martin
and then
B
my
Music.
Facebook is NB Acoustic.
Cool.
Alex is Riddly Diddly Alex.
There's not a lot of updates from me on Instagram, though. I usually just put whatever Martin put on his Instagram on my story.
Yeah. So, but there's a load of content on there. There's a few acoustic run-throughs of some of my songs.
Mm-hmm.
There's an acoustic version of Beautiful Home up there that I recorded and mixed myself. And every time we're going out, we're trying to catch a little
plenty
bit
of clips, you know, bits and pieces that you can get a taste of us with.
really good idea of how we work together and everything. So yeah, that's where they can find us.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for coming in today, guys.
Absolute pleasure,
Ryan.
Absolute pleasure.
This is Martin Barnes and Alex Terry with You Make Me Smile.
You make me smile. There's a lot in those 4 words. 'Cause it's been a while since I felt brave enough to let them be heard. Oh, there's a few choice words left that still scare me to death, and I'd rather say those 4 than lie. So you make me smile. Oh, you made me smile. Oh, you make me feel high, but I wonder when this trip will end. Was that peak the last time? Is the rush worth that come down again? Oh, if I could just breathe you in, I know I'd soar back again, but I'm not sure that fall I'd survive. You made me feel high. You made me feel high. Oh, whoa. Oh, I can't help but wonder if the right thing's the wrong one this time. Till I find out the answers, these questions will weigh on my mind. Did I make you feel high? And did I make you smile? Oh, did I make you feel high? High? Do I still make you smile? Whoa, oh, do I still make you smile? Do I still make you smile? Do I still make you smile? 'Cause you still make me smile.